Put yourself in the early 2000s, turn of the millennium. Technology is booming, CRTs are burning our retinas. Half-Life 2 is just around the corner. You happen to have an ADSL internet connection. You can watch the early brain rot of the internet and memes. You're navigating the wild world of Napster and LimeWire in searching for music downloads. All the while, eagerly anticipating the next big thing in tech.
It requires huge financial investment, $599 US.
Or in gaming, as forums and chat rooms buzz with the excitement of over-emerging trends and new releases. But you just happen to be part of the underground communities of Planet Deus Ex, or the underground communities of the IRC channels of Deus Ex, and you hear about this new Deus Ex mod that just released, Redsun. So we reinstalled Deus Ex for the 10th time, installed the mod, and now you have a chance to first-hand experience a total overall conversion of the game. How did that feel like? No, really, how did it feel like? I have no idea. I was far detached from the opportunity by not having a proper internet connection, but gladly, with the power of still being able to play these mods, we can explore the vision of our ancestors and go dive a bit into the history of Deus Ex mods. From what I can dig, Redsun seems to be the biggest Deus Ex project to date when it came out, and as humorously stated in their intro, they have 1 million excuses for being late. But if Redsun has to excuse themselves for being late, can you think of a mod who was, I don't know, a decade late? Redsun begins in the twilight. Or is it in the morning? Well, if we assume that Redsun means the Japanese sun, that also means it's the rising sun. But this intro doesn't take place in Japan, it takes place in Vietnam, so does it still count? We see a chopper arriving, and some majestic 12 troops crossing the beaches of this island. Comically, they take a long time to cross the beach. And all of this reminds me of Kung Pao. You know, that scene?
Chosen one! I'm coming! Chosen one! I'm coming! Chosen one! I'm coming! Chosen one! I'm coming!
And that's our hero, by the way, who seems to have the worst spatial awareness of any video game character of all time. His name is Joseph, and I made him look like this. We get captured and sent to this facility. And our objective at the beginning is to escape. We get contacted by a shadow entity, which says it's the leader of the Unico. So I guess it's Joseph Mandley talking with Joseph. First thing people will notice playing this mod is that the voice acting of this mod is non-existent. So you are just expected to read everything, even the barks, and that can be jarring at times, because people can be talking in background and you're not reading the small text, or if you have the subtitles off, they don't even appear. Another thing that bothered me is that I know that some of you, like me, instantly rebind the keys when they play Deus Ex. You know how reload is not R, for example, or crouch is not control, but this mod seems to do its own thing with the key bindings. Like, I don't even see the option to reload, or crouch is just toggle, or that mouse acceleration was on by default, and there's not really a way to disable it. It's not that you can change these in a few minutes, but it still bothers me. We begin this mod by reading some of its literature, which begins by how to scam people online through PayPal. And you know that's always a good start. In this room we find an hologram of someone who looks like he was in the Matrix. I can't really put my finger on who's this person, but I have a feeling that we're gonna see more of this person in the future. And after some back and forth on this facility, we manage to escape. And breaking news, we seem to have been teleported to the Middle East. It's not over yet. We are being held by TMG, who seems to be a corporation doing experiments on us. Currently, we are in the TMG complex building, which is kind of ironic, because I found it quite simple. It wouldn't be a good mod if it didn't have some jank on it, wouldn't you agree?
Say I didn't do it.
So finally, we make our getaway through the sewers. And who do we find? Joseph Manderley, or someone who just looks like him. I swear, it could be his doppelganger. He says he's gonna help us escape, and we take our leave through the sewers. And we get out to the streets of Tokyo, which is the hub of the game. And Tokyo looks very good. I don't know, man. It always feels like bubble wrap to me. At this pub we find someone who looks exactly like Morgan Everett, which is an informant for UNATCO, and it's through him that we have to do a series of events to get out of Tokyo. The objective now is to escape Japan and get back to UNATCO. There seems to be a war between the Yakuza, corporations and the police in Japan, and we are just in the middle of it, and because we are in the middle of it, we need all kinds of favors to get out of Japan. This part of this map of Tokyo is kinda confusing. I'm not sure what's really the point of it. We have this very huge restaurant we have to go through, it's like a maze, just to get some guy on the other side. And we have to come here twice, which is very annoying. Here we have a kid asking us, do we like PC games? Yeah, sure we do. And he tells us that Duke Nukem Forever is going to release next month. And that's the joke. It's very fitting for its time. There's a lot of jokes like this in the game, a lot of reference. It's like a time capsule that this mod lives on. There's a lot of reference in emails about Lane, Blood 2, Age of Empires. And after all this, we get out of Tokyo and get to the metro. Not without finding some jank along the way. This area was the worst for me. It's very dark, it's very big and it's full of enemies. I don't really understand what's the point of this. We get to the metro and we find out the metro is not actually a metro, it's more like a boat ride. But all the boats are taken. So we have to take another route to our destination, which seems to be some towers. This mod seems to be packed full of jokes. Like in this area of this tower is supposed to be very serious business. There's a bunch of books with just jokes on them, which is fine I guess. It kinda sets the tone of the game. Like it's not meant to be taken very seriously. Like these NPCs over here talking about how Apple dominates the market now, and now it's taken over Windows, which, well, I guess it didn't really happen, did it? But I mean, we still have some time to wait. And in this computer I found the banzai Easter egg, which tells me to unlock something on the computers above. So I do that. And I have to get up some elevator as well, where I find Tracer Tongue, which tells me I have to dive from the top of the tower and just trust him, bro. Now of course I trust my bro, so I plunge myself from the top of the tower and... Okay. Anyway. So we finally leave the towers and we see a cutscene of our character and he walks very slowly. And all of a sudden we see this figure. And this figure is the one we saw before. But now he's riding a train. Or is it the boat ride? I'm assuming it's supposed to be me. For all we know, we are Michael Jackson. But in this new map, I just gave up on the story. It's very hard for me to follow all of this. I know I'm supposed to find some woman in some pub. which I did, but then the story starts getting very weird and ridiculous. I don't know. You'll soon know what I mean. Yeah, there seems to be some kind of feud in the streets between gang members and police and security. That I can tell, but everything else I don't really know. This is the bar I'm supposed to find her in. And there she is. She tells me about how we have to kill someone and we have to go through some tunnels. And then, you know that part in Silent Hill 2 where James just starts digging through Silent Hill and he finds himself in depths of hell or something like that, like the prison level? That's where I feel like here. It seems like our character keeps digging down for no reason at all.
Who's laughing now?
And then we find something like literal hell. I don't understand this map at all. It's very weird. The scaling, look at the scaling of this, it's just all wrong. Why are there aliens on the background? That's a giant alien. We're in hell, there's giant aliens. Okay, maybe it's just my fault for not following the story. After we kill our objective, we go back to Tokyo. And now we have a new objective to find Project Adam and kill a bunch of people in the TMG facility. And after we kill all those people in the TMG facility, we have to kill the general of TMG, who apparently is gonna start nuclear holocaust if we don't stop him. God, don't tell me that's not satisfying. You know exactly what's coming. And it's in this map that they have some cool ideas. Like the observatory room, they have two tables with what appears to be houses. And after we activate the teleporter, which didn't work for me because I had to use cheats to go to that level, we find some houses and the background is kinda cool. It's that room with the miniature houses, so I guess we were shrunken?
Right, honey?
Honey, I shrunk the kids.
We're all the size of boogers!
And we kill the general, which is the only NPC in this entire level that actually attacks me for some reason. And now it's our time to escape Tokyo for real. So we go through more dark tunnels that are just filled with enemies everywhere. And it just seems like more padding. I don't really understand these levels at all. They're huge, they're full of enemies, they're just dark. It seems like they didn't know how to properly light these places. I don't really understand these levels at all. Just look at this, look at how massive this is. And after all that, we get in a confrontation with what seems to be Paul Denton and another person. And this Paul Denton says that he was the shadowy figure and he was responsible for all the things that I've done so far, so I guess I was working for him. And they argue back and forth, and I was gonna get killed, and they vote yay or nay, and I guess they yay me, so they have to kill me now. So I killed them, and the game is over now. So I guess we take the opportunity to just ride in the sunset. Or I guess we ride in the sunrise. And I was gonna take this last part of the plot very seriously, like this mess at the end, but then our character says this at the end, and I think it kinda redeems the entire thing. Well then, I guess I'm just gonna have to get a job fighting off Godzilla. There's no such thing as Godzilla. Yeah, they said the same thing about the plotline too. Yeah, that was kind of enjoyable. It's not as refined as Nihilion was. I wanted people to just experience that mod without being spoiled. So that was a bit of a different video for that one, because that mod is kind of refined, I would say, in terms of what the mod could do. Not to say that I like Redsun, I really enjoyed it. It's like I've entered some time capsule. The constant mention of IRC channels, the reference to old games, I felt it like it was a more hopeful time, you know what I mean? Like it feels like people were actually looking for a brighter future, where things were actually progressively getting better, with references with Apple emulators, and if Apple won, things would just get better. Are we just gonna see the PlayStation 7? Which we might, but you know. And as you can see on the credits here, the team is not that big. It's just a couple of people doing what they liked. And they worked for 4 and 5 years on this? That's crazy. They seem to be very proud of it, and I can see why. I think they put part of themselves on this, and you can tell. But I think at some point, they were just like, who cares about the plot, just do whatever, just wrap this up. And it's not like when they made the mod, they were like, yeah, in 20 years, some fucking asshole is just gonna look through this mod and make a video about it. But yeah, Redsun scratched that itch that I have for early 2000s. Like, you can actually feel it. Like what people were thinking when they were working on it, the jokes they made, the way they talked. I liked it. And I hope you liked the video as well. I don't know if you'd like to see more of this style of video, but I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching till the end. I know it's gonna be very, very few of you, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, or you can watch this video until the end.